of an interest in the outcome if the judge is a shareholder in the corporation that's on trial before him. It's outrageous that these judges let this slip.
It's not a judicial system. It's a political system.
When that happens, yes.
It's a political, look how they run. They run as either Republicans or Democrats to get elected. Right?
37 states, judges are elected. You're quite right, as Republicans or Democrats. I was fortunate enough to have been appointed to a lifetime position in New Jersey, which has 400 trial judges, roughly 200 Republicans and 200 Democrats. So a Republican is supposed to succeed a Republican, and a Democrat succeed a Democrat.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
I mean, it's a basically nonpartisan system, as nonpartisan as you can get.
Yeah.
In America today. But in other states, judges actually run for office promising to do certain things. I'm going to be rough on criminals. What does that mean? You're not going to read the Bill of Rights?
Again, look what happened. Look what happened with the COVID. You got that judge over there in New York. You know the guy. He wouldn't let the guy free after the trial until he got vaccinated.
That judge is a friend of mine. He's a brilliant and gifted judge, but his head, I've told this to him, his head was not in the right place.
What disgusting.
It was reprehensible. He, like a lot of America, you and I have talked about this, Gerald. In my view, and I think you agree, the most surprising thing about COVID was not what the government did. I expect the government to be tyrannical. It was the fact that the public accepted it, that the public became a nation of sheep, that the resistance was minimal, and that the police went along with it. The Soviet Union fell when Gorbachev could no longer afford to pay the soldiers and the police. Now, the federal government may fall that way sometime too. But police who took an oath to uphold the Constitution should not have been enforcing those draconian laws.
It's just disgusting.
You know, I interrogated a group of state troopers in New Jersey, and I said to them, do you guys remember day one in the academy? Rule number one, it is unlawful to obey an unlawful order? And one of them said, you're right, Judge, but nobody wants to be the first one to challenge that, to test it. I said,
isn't that disgusting?
See that gun? You see that badge? That's why you have the gun and the badge, because you're supposed to have the courage to do the right thing.
You know, going back to your article over here, you said the baseline natural law principle is the non-aggressive principle, NAP. It teaches that all initiated or threatened aggression, including from government, is inherently wrong as a violation of natural laws, natural rights of the victim. Thus, only defensive wars are just.
So Murray Rothbard, who coined all that, argued that the only American war that was just was the Revolution. It was truly a defensive war. We seceded. The British troops came over here to try and kill us so that we would come back to obeying the king. That was a just war. Everything else was a war of aggression.
Oh, so now let's go back to little boy Biden, a guy that's been sucking off the public tit for 50 years, calling Putin a war criminal. So what you just said about the concept of a just war, then how about, you mentioned Bush, how about Clinton? What he did to Iraq, bombing the hell out of it, killing over 500,000 Iraqi children under the age of 5, and anybody could Google it up. Madeleine Albright, she was UN ambassador at the time, on 60 Minutes with Leslie Stahl. Is the price of 500,000 Iraqi children under the age of 5 worth the sanctions and the bombings? And Madeleine Albright says, yes, it was. How about that being a war criminal? How about the Nobel Peace of Crap Prize winner, Barack Obama? Not my words, his words. Gaddafi has to go. Oh, you mean the guy in Libya that was running the place that was the richest country in Africa, and the people had more rights and benefits than a lot of places around the world? How about him being a war criminal? Oh, wait, I forgot. How about him saying the Syrian president, Assad, has to go? Are they war criminals? How come Biden's not calling a spade a spade?
So you and I have both had the pleasure of interviewing Colonel Douglas McGregor and the former great CIA patriot, Phil Giraldi, and they both are of the view that the goal of the American globalist establishment, which has been running the State Department since the end of World War II, the only person who tried to disrupt that was Donald Trump, and he did not succeed, that their goal is regime change in Russia because they basically want sort of a one world government. I don't think that's going to happen in your lifetime or mine, but that is at least their goal. So it's the same mentality, my point. Madeleine Albright has the same mentality as Antony Blinken, her current day successor. They want war because they want to kill Putin. Obama and Hillary wanted to kill Gaddafi and wanted to take credit for liberating Libya. Liberating it? They destroyed it. They not only killed him horrifically, can't even say on air how he died, but they destroyed the country. They destroyed its infrastructure. Not by a declaration of war by the Congress, because Libya was no threat to the United States whatsoever. In fact, we're buying oil from them. But just by the whim and the wish of the globalist mentality in the State Department and in the White House.
So when you're
Who was
saying,
vice president whispering into Obama's ear? Biden.
yeah. So now what you're saying with the globalist mentality, the people in charge, we are on the cusp. I believe it's already begun, World War III. Being that that's their agenda, and that's what they want. Again, you're not going to beat the Russians. Get this in your head, everybody. Here, these are the headlines of the stories, right? New York Times. Ukraine mounts counterattacks as Russia pounds cities. Did they have these kind of headlines? America, Iraq mounts counterattacks as America pounds cities? Did they have the headline, Afghans mount counterattacks as American pounds cities?
No. Look, part of the globalist mentality subsumes the media. I'm sorry to say, even the media entity for which I once worked for 24 years, they're all part, at least with respect to this war, they're all part of the same mentality. Do you know how many American troops are in Europe right now? More than